I haven't spoken to her in a few months. I've sent her messages randomly, but she doesn't answer them.
Wow.
Whether it's Facebook Messenger or text, I've messaged her after I've seen her on live saying that she needs food. I said, I'll bring you food, whatever, just let me know. I've taken food over there, like when Jace and Abby were there. It's just, it doesn't matter what she needs help with. She doesn't want the help. She wants the money, and the money isn't helping.
Yeah.
So I just don't know how else to get that through to people. I really don't. I mean, at this point, everything just gets her all riled up. And, as you've noticed, people started putting their own cash apps and stuff. And I made a joke to Ronnie yesterday. I said, we should just, create burner accounts and go in and, pretend that we're sending each other money on Cash App at this point. Like, here's my tag. Hey, thanks for sending me $1. Meanwhile, nobody's sending anybody anything.
Right. So that way she thinks other people are getting money. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know what the thing is. And, I don't know if you guys ever watched when I had my account about her, about a year ago. I've tried to stay pretty consistent. I've always asked people, like, don't make fun of her. Like, remember she's a person, like, try and be like, not nice to her, but like, you don't have to be nice to her. Just like, don't be mean to her, and like, I still stand by that, but it's getting increasingly more difficult for me not to want to call and scream at her. So I understand that, like, everybody's frustrated. And I just don't know what to do. Like, I just don't, I don't know. There's no end in sight. And I told people even back then, they said, oh, do you think, losing the kids would be rock bottom? No, I was very honest about that. I don't. And everybody said, oh, you're just negative, or, oh, you should be more supportive. And it's like, you guys don't understand. Like, I know her. And, if you have 3 of your other kids taken away, 1 more is not really going to be, and it's always been a slap on the wrist. Oh, I'll get them back. They take them for a short period of time and then you get them back. So why would we take it seriously, But
right.
I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. I don't know how much worse, but, I've been talking, trying to tell my dad, like, you need to stop taking her places, stop answering her phone calls, like, let her really scramble for those Ubers, and people aren't going to believe her, let her fall on her ass, let her lose her apartment. Oh, wow. Like, where she can get housing and food and medical treatment and rehab. That's where she needs to be.
Right. Yep, you're absolutely
We're
right.
worrying about the wrong shit, and it's really frustrating and annoying.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you on that. Because even providing the transportation at this point could be a form of, some enabling there. And some people were asking about that in the chat. So I'm glad you spoke on that. Some people were asking if there's anything that you know of that can be done to help the dog.
So, I mean, not really. And I think that's why she doesn't take him outside, because the minute he goes outside, it's like, game over. And what I mean by that is, like, when people start seeing him, like right now it's all hearsay, like, yeah, there's videos on the internet and there's pictures, but it's no one's seen it with their own eyes, like in person. So if she starts taking him outside, even now, neighbors see it, they make complaints. It's like a firsthand account. They don't, like, CPS, the police, animal services, whatever, they don't consider things you see online as firsthand. Like, you're not a firsthand person, like, seeing it, So until she starts doing that, I mean, it's all just kind of hearsay. And there was even a girl on the Reddit who, had said, oh, I've been communicating by email, whatever, and, they're going to go make a visit, and sent, like, the screenshots to people. And I happened to get, a copy of it, and they're like, well, how do you know, do you know this person? And I don't know what their responses were. I just saw, like, the response from the agency, and they were like, well, we'll go out and we'll try and make contact, but if they don't let us in, there's really nothing we can do. I'm like, that's the same answer I got. If Lisa doesn't answer the door, or Lisa, like, keeps the dog in the bedroom, and they show up and they say, do you have a dog in there? And she's like, yeah, he's fine. They can't come in. They can't just, break the door down to go in. It's incredibly frustrating as well. And I think that's a big reason why she don't take them outside.
Wow.
I agree with you.
Oh, that's really frustrating. She's in Pennsylvania. Someone asked in the comments. Yeah, I mean.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm not really looking at the comments because they're
yeah,
really
I'm trying to catch them, but there's so many that are flying through. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people are concerned about the dog, and some people have said that they have contacted and called. So I don't know. No, she is not going to IOP.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, at the end of the day, No matter what Lisa says is kind of irrelevant. It doesn't matter if she's past due on her rent. It doesn't matter if she's going to IOP. We all know that IOP is not going to work. Technically, her methadone treatment is IOP, right? It's just intensive outpatient. She doesn't need outpatient. She needs inpatient.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if she went to the clinic at 7 a.m. or 9 a.m. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. People just need to stop sending her money. I mean, you've heard from her sisters, and people are like, oh, you haven't talked to her in years. Okay, fine, whatever. But then you talk to the sister who has seen her, and then you hear from her children, and you've heard her dad scream at her to get offline. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's almost like feel like people are just waiting for like her obituary to scream at them in the face. Like, what do you need to stop sending her money? I don't understand. She's
I
clearly on drugs. You can look at her. She's on drugs. It's not even a question.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you completely. And if people are going to be donating to her, then they need to also pay for her funeral, because that's the inevitable if this keeps going this way.
Right. And I see Carmen's comment that you physically went and showed pictures and videos of Shadow. Right, but that's pictures and videos. That's not, they don't consider that a first-hand account.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
unless you were like holding him and took the picture, like you took the picture with your own camera, like screenshots is not a first-hand account. And I know that because they've told me that.
Yeah, and she doesn't let anybody in her house
Right.
to actually see the dog.
So heartbreaking.
It is really heartbreaking because it's like nobody knows what to do, and they just feel really bad. I mean, I mean, it sounds like Jace is doing really well, because I actually got an email from someone who is friends with Jason Cole's, grandmother, and they said that Jace is doing great, but he did miss 28 days of school while he was with Lisa straight.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that at all.
And but he's getting caught up, and that he's doing actually really great. That they were concerned he would how Jace used to be sometimes disrespectful to Lisa, so they were a little bit concerned about that, but he has been totally the opposite. He's been doing chores, and he's been doing his schoolwork, and he's been polite. He's been doing everything he needs to do, and he's enjoying being there and everything else. So it sounds like he's doing really well there. And she did say that CPS and whatever other authorities are involved are watching her videos and her restreams on YouTube and things like that, and they are watching. CPS is watching. They're all watching.
Good.
So, yeah. So doing this kind of stuff is not helping anything at all for her case whatsoever, because they're watching everything.
Right. Which, I mean, common sense should tell you that they're watching everything, right? And I mean that like towards her, not towards, like the general public, but you would think that she would realize that. But again, she's not thinking at all. So it's how can I get the next 10? I don't know if anybody has noticed, but it's gone from 10 to 20 now to $30 multiple times a day.
Mm-hmm.
So
but I am really happy that Jace seems like he's doing really well. I mean, I mean, at least it seems like he's in a much better situation, and they are planning on putting him in regular school next year instead of the cyber school. He's just trying to finish out the cyber school stuff, because that's what he already started, and trying to get him caught up so that he can pass this grade and move forward.
Yeah. So one of the things that I had since last time I had spoken with you ladies and gentlemen is that I think there's a lot of people on the TikTok app that don't know how the TikTok app works. And going in even on burner accounts and, commenting in her live, it pushes her out onto the For You page. So if you want to keep people out of her lives, stop going in and commenting, block her, and then go in on like your account or any of the other 600 people that stream her, so she's not getting the views. If she's not getting the views and the people, like, yeah, there's always going to be people that send her money. You being in there saying what it's for, it's probably not going to help. And the more people in there making funny comments or saying what it's for is just pushing her out onto the For You page, and then more people come in, people that don't know who she is.
Mm-hmm. And when anybody gets blocked, it seems like either my page or maybe somebody else who's streaming her we come up as the very next FYP, you know, like the very next one on their FYP. So they end up in our, you know, like in my live, and they're like, I just got blocked from her, and some of them were people that were actually thinking about helping her,
Right.
and they just asked a question she didn't like somebody might say to her, why don't you work? And it's just an innocent question. Well, she blocks them, they end up here, and then we can educate them about what's going on, and we're saying, no, look, we are spreading awareness of her, we're trying to stop people from enabling her rug addiction, and we're trying to stop people from getting scammed. And they stick around, a lot of them, and they thank us for letting them know like what's going on. So that the algorithm is working well in that way, at least.
Yes, it's wonderful. And I wanted to point out that Nookie is here, and it's his videos that actually were taken to save Jace. They were named as what was used to help save Jace.
Yeah, the videos, they were watching his videos at CPS.
Yep.
Well, I mean, somebody's asking, is Abby pregnant? And Lisa said she is. Jess has said she believes her to be. Um, I don't know any more than you do.
Yeah. But yes, it looks like Abby is pregnant.
Yeah, I mean, I don't that I mean that at this point that's not even relevant.
Right.
Let's be honest. Like that shouldn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody asks all the time.
Oh, I know. I get
Okay.
hundreds of messages a day being asked questions like that.
Well, I think people are maybe concerned for another child possibly being within that household or something like along those lines.
Exactly.
Or, you know, or if Abby is partaking in any of the same things Lisa is, it could be a danger to the child. So, you know, I think there's some concern for the child.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was the Cash App that she was telling people to send money to. So I don't know whose that is. At first she said it was hers. But it, and that she just created it today, but it was joined in April 2021.
Yeah, that's not her Cash App. That's her friend Crystal's.
Yeah, and then she was saying that it was her friends. So she lied because we caught her in a lie, and we know that she did not create this today, and we know it's not hers. So
Right.
that stuff is not true. That stuff is not true. So just making everybody aware, like that's, you know, we catch her in these lies real time. I think sometimes she's not even remembering some of the things she's saying, and she's contradicting herself from one minute to the next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's obnoxious and infuriating. And honestly, if I spend too much of my day, it like derails my whole day even just thinking about it. But I am not in any way like defending Abby. Her and I used to be very close, and we had a falling out. And long story short, something that I don't know if people realize, like, yes, Abby is old enough and they should have a job and, you know, be taking care of themselves. I completely understand and agree with that. But at this exact moment, that's where they live at least part of the time. And so when they're there, they don't have anywhere else to go. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. And they have to deal with Lisa's shenanigans. And if anybody hasn't noticed, I mean, Abby's started turning off her Cash App so people can't find it and then pretends not to know what's going on, you know? And that's why Lisa gets so mad at her. And I mean, Lisa screams at her to help her mod. And, you know, if she's there, like, I'm not saying that she's totally innocent. I'm not. And I'm not saying I'm not there. I don't know how involved she is, but Abby's very, like, scared of basically everybody and everything. Yes, she gets mad and screams and, you know, whatever when she gets overwhelmed. But for the most part, like, she just goes with what she has to because she doesn't have anywhere else to go.
Right. We've heard her, you know, threaten Abby, like, if you don't do this, you're out, and things like that.
And Lisa's made her leave in the middle of the night and sleep. There's like a little park in there, a complex. She's made her sleep on a bench outside. So, you know.
That's awful to do to your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Abby is her daughter. Yeah, that's awful to do that. That's awful to do that. And we've heard her say things, and sometimes I think she thinks we don't hear her, like she's like whispering, like, if you don't do this, you're out. You know what I mean? Like, we can hear you. Like, we can hear you, Lisa, you know?
Yeah.
Abby's 22, I believe.
Is Abby, do you know if Abby is partaking in substances during her pregnancy?
I've asked her, and she told me that she's not. And of all the things that Abby's ever done, she hasn't lied to me about it. She's told me. So I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't have any proof. I just ask her, and I'm just, I have no reason not to believe her. I feel like she would tell me if she was. She said, she smokes weed, which she said publicly, for her like nausea and whatnot, and like eating. But it's not like all the time. So, I mean, the only reason I'm even saying something about it like that is because Abby's mentioned it. So,
Yeah, and actually, Lisa said the same thing. The last time she came in the box, someone asked about that, and she had the same answer, basically.
yeah.
So, you know, that's on par with everything we've heard.
But as far as like her day to day activities, I genuinely don't know because I can't get into it. But I mean, I'm very close with Ronnie. I'm close with Nicole. They were both at my wedding. I haven't talked to Nicole in a while. That's she got like, her own stuff going on, and I got my own stuff going on, and life's just wild right now. But yeah, we have a pretty good relationship. As far as like the information that I get from Lisa is typically through Ronnie or my dad. I don't know why she says I don't talk to my dad. I was just at his house again today. But she just makes up stuff. Anytime I come out and say anything, she has to try and discredit me. So later, I'll be somebody that she hasn't seen in 10 years. But, last week, the entire week, she wore a shirt I recently got her for Christmas, as we know. I had never met Jace, but she let me take him away for days at a time to an amusement park, because that makes sense. She just says whatever to like twist the narrative in her direction to make her look like a victim.
Right, right. Oh, she said that I was her what, biggest enemy
Yeah,
because
number one enemy.
Oh, you surpassed me. Congratulations.
we're
Congratulations.
we're both on the list. It's okay.
Oh,
We're
for
both on the
sure.
we're both on the list together, Jess.
Yeah, she talks
Um,
about me
and
in
and,
I
and
have a,
all we're
I have a
doing is,
question.
all we're doing is telling the truth. So
Girl, I know about it.
I have a question, if I may.
Sure.
So I've been following Lisa for a really long time.
Hmm.
I've seen body one camera footage of her. She has a mean streak in her, if I'm not wrong, right?
Oh, yeah.
My question is has she ever put her hands on Abby?
Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
Has she ever put her hands on her son, Jace?
That, I mean, I know she's like pushed him, and that's like on video. Like she did it on a live, and she
Mm-hmm.
like pushed him into the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think like she's never been like the disciplinary kind that like beat the kids. She's never been like that. And that's one of the things when I was, helping with CPS to try and get him out of there. I know, where Jace is now, they have their lawyer and, his other siblings and stuff were also helping. But when I was also helping, I had told the girl, like, I've known Lisa obviously my whole life. And, she's always very shy, and she's a follower. She's not the girl that gets up and will like do a toast at the bar or does karaoke. Like she's very much whatever you want to do, I'll eat wherever you want to eat, follower type. And now she's, screaming at the kids and pushing them and yelling at them and calling them names and cussing at them. And like in the last year, it's just gotten so bad so fast. And that's it, that escalation. And I sent her some videos like, watch this video, and she went from Jace, buddy, don't do that, to what the fuck are you doing? Like screaming at him in 6 months. And so it just escalated so quickly. And that's a big reason why he was taken, is because she displayed that herself.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's shocking to see the way that they communicate with each other.
Right. So going forward, does you and your family have any action plan for her, or are you guys just gonna kind of let it see what happens? And
I mean, as far as I know, I mean, like I said, my other sister and I are trying to get my dad on board to kind of cut her off. He has his own issues with cutting her off. He feels really guilty for reasons that, if anybody has been paying attention, are very clear. And he just, he has a really hard time cutting her off. but we're trying to convince him like, hey, you can either have a daughter who's alive and a little bit mad at you for a little bit, or you can be down a daughter. Like, I don't know how else to plainly tell you this. Like, you got to pick one. You can't keep going the way things are going. Like, it's not going to end well for anybody.
Right.
Um,
It seems like he's the only one that does have power over her.
Mm-hmm.
um, I
I
don't
mean,
know. I mean, yeah, if I feel like if he would stop riding her places and, making life easier for her, she would have no choice but to fall on her face because I'm not going to take her anywhere. And Ronnie's not
Mm-hmm.
going to take her anywhere anymore. So,
Mm-hmm.
the only reason Ronnie drove her in the first place is because my dad had a massive heart attack and would only have surgery if Ronnie agreed to take her.
Wow.
well, thank you for answering my questions. That's all I really had. All of us here, our heart bleeds for your family.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We hope that you guys find some solace and some peace eventually with her.
I mean, me too. I really thought I was hoping that, when I made my account that she'd be so embarrassed that like her family now kind of, because nobody really knew what was going on. Like, I mean, they knew what she was doing, but they didn't realize that she was doing it on the internet still. And like I've said many times, like she used to do this on Facebook. And then my mom got Facebook and saw what she was doing and like ripped her a new one. And she stopped doing it for a while because my mom was like mortified. And then all of a sudden, I guess she found TikTok and nobody was really on TikTok like in my family. And until I really stumbled across it, it was like, what is happening? And then all of a sudden she has all these alter egos and she's basically Barbie with every profession you can think of. And it's like, what is going on?
It's true.
Ugh, yeah. We
This
try to show some of those older video clips, for people who are new, because a lot of people don't realize, how deep and how far back this goes. And it's just to, bring more awareness that this isn't anything new. This isn't something that's just a temporary, thing that where she just needs help with food for a day. Like this is like every day. This is going back for years, with a lot of wild stories, and it usually once we go through some of that, there people are pretty shocked and they don't donate anymore. It help. It really does help to bring awareness to show some of the older clips.
Yeah.
right. Does
Yeah.
Lisa have any childhood trauma?
Oh, yeah. But I
Mm,
mean, we all do, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and by we all, I mean my siblings in general, right?
Yeah.
I'm a functioning adult that lives in a nice house and drives a new car and has a good job and went to college. Like it's one of those things where it's like you either, crumble underneath of it and do what you're doing, or you decide you don't want to be that person. And it sucks that she took the route she did, but I mean, Ronnie's had a job since, well, she quit when she got pregnant because she had complications, of course, but even she's getting back out there working. Like, you have to have a job. Like, Lisa
Mm-hmm.
hasn't worked in forever. And I know she was a stay at home mom. I get it. Like, that's a real job too. Please don't think I'm not saying that it's not. But
Mm-hmm.
like it's been years now since she had that luxury of being a stay-at-home mom. And like when you have kids, you have to take care of them. And it's just always been somebody else's problem, somebody else's foot in the bill. And it's just like enough is enough. You need to be an adult now.
right.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that rock bottom is going to look like for Lisa?
I genuinely don't know because there have been many of times I thought it would be, a certain family member passing, or, when Cole passed, or when this kid was taken, or now this kid got taken, or this kid cut you off, or, a number of different things that have happened. And it's just, it doesn't. And it's weird because it doesn't even seem to phase her. It's like just the same. It's like she could care less. So I don't know. I genuinely don't know what else could happen. I mean, maybe going to jail.
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I
Or if
know.
she, I was thinking maybe if she were to actually end up homeless, but the issue with that is maybe, someone else in your family would take her in and enable her, or
Well, not
again.
even that. I mean, she has all those contacts. She's been homeless. Then she went to a shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's done all that. So like even that for her, like even losing her apartment is like, well, I could just get back to the shelter. Like she has a backup plan for everything. So
Mm-hmm.
like I genuinely don't even think that would be a
Yeah.
wake up to her. You know what I mean? Like I legitimately think you don't get to have a say. You don't get to have an opinion. You're doing this now. Like somebody needs to have that authority over her. I think that's really the only way that anything's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I've tried to have her committed. I've contacted multiple attorneys in Pittsburgh about doing like a conservatorship, and she doesn't qualify because it's not like a mental illness, it's drugs.
Right.
And they say she needs rehab, and you can't force her into rehab in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
And even though it is actually, I believe, I'm obviously not able to diagnose anyone, but I do believe it's rugs as well as mental health.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah, but the rugs
Absolutely.
exacerbate it and make it so much worse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just so sorry for everything that your family has been going through, but I am glad that seems to be happy and healthy. And he's in a good situation. But yeah, we don't want anything. We want everyone to be successful, happy, and healthy here. And it's just I don't know. It just seems like things are getting worse for Lisa, and it's very sad.
Yeah.
I agree. And I really think the only way, like I said, if anybody wants to help her, just block her and watch from a different account. Stop pushing her out to the For You page where unsuspecting people are going to stumble into her. Like, going in there and making all those comments, as you guys know, like, it just helps push her out more. It doesn't help contain the situation. It makes it worse. I mean, the other night she had like 3.2 thousand people in her live. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
like,
Right.
Yeah, so there's
you
actually a
know,
word for it. It's called deplatforming. She needs to be deplatformed.
1,000%, yes.
1,000%, 100,000%.
So, and I mean, like I said, if I can help, I will. I've tried. I've called animal control. I've called, Pittsburgh Crisis Resolve. We've talked last time about all the TV shows I've contacted. Like, I mean, I even, like, as terrible as it sounds, I tried to like bribe my parents that like cut her off and you can come to my wedding, and they still didn't do it.
Wow.
So like, there's literally like, I have no power. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, you're her family. You can do this and call this." And trust me, I have tried it. There's little to nothing that I can do at this point
Wow.
because, again, as I mentioned, she doesn't have to prove that we're related, and I have no way to prove that we are. So when we show up to do a wellness check, and she looks me dead in the face and tells the cops, "I don't know this lady. I've never met her before." What am I going to do? What do I say to that? I know she's a stalker from the internet, and they've gotten so many phone calls. They're like, "Wait, is this a stalker from the internet?" And it's like,
Wow.
no, it's not. But she doesn't have to prove that she knows me. She's such a good liar. It's just, no, I don't know her. And then they basically look at me like I'm stupid, and she goes back inside, and we all go our separate ways. And then she gets on live and asks for $20 for a hoagie.
It's her stories. They just blow me away. And they're
Yeah,
also like so easily verifiable by a simple Google search.
right.
Yeah, like the whole water park thing. I mean, we debunked that within a matter of minutes.
Right. Or the fact that she went on a whole rant about what she ordered from Eaton Park that's not even on the menu.
Yep. We debunked that in a matter of minutes too, real time. I brought up the menu. And
Yep.
we knew she didn't go there. Yep, absolutely. So and and she's losing track of her lies. She's, contradicting herself, and it's easy to catch her in her lies. A lot easier than it used to be, and because I don't think she's in a good state, you know.
Yeah, and Ronnie's tried to catch her multiple times today. She was with my dad. She tried to get into Lisa's box, and she even commented at one point and was like, "I'm with Dad, let me in." And then she hurried up and ended the live, and people were like, "Oh shit, her sister called her out." And she tried to get in this most last time too here at the house, and Lisa blocked her
Mm-hmm.
because she
Yep.
knows that she's gonna call her out.
Yep. Yep. Anybody who was saying in the comments, people in the comments were saying Ronnie posted on Reddit that you didn't go to IOP. They were saying your sister said you didn't go to IOP. Anybody in the comments that was bringing any of that up, they were getting blocked.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
Anybody bringing it
Yeah.
up was getting blocked. Yep. But we were letting everybody know over here, or if they got blocked over there and ended up here, we were letting them know. No, she did not go to IOP. Anybody who got blocked and they were asking questions. Look, people are still asking. So she didn't go to IOP? No. She was never going to IOP.
Well, and that's the problem with being live too, right? People are always coming in, people are going out, and you have to repeat yourself 5 times. And if you
Yes.
don't say your same exact sentence with all of the 6 words you used the first time, if you only use 4 of those 6 words, all of a sudden your story has changed and now you're a liar in her eyes.
Yes.
And,
Right.
it's, I've already answered that and I'm not repeating that. And it's like, people can't help it that they come in when they come in, right? But it's also like with her, she banks on that. She wants the people that she's already lied to be gone by that point. She doesn't
Right.
expect people to sit around for 3 hours and watch her.
Right.
And the people
Right.
that know she's lying they're the ones that stick around. The people that have no clue are the ones that are popping in and out and sending $1 here and whatever. So she banks on that. She doesn't think people are listening that intently. And then by the time her lies are proven wrong, that live is over. And 3 hours later, when the next one comes on, we can regurgitate those same lies because it's new people.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, no, there's somebody with the username Dad's Long or Loud, got blocked for offering to pay for an Uber. Yeah, she did not need an Uber. She did not need an Uber. People were coming into my chat saying, I got blocked because I offered to buy her groceries. And I said, well, I'm glad you're here because she does not need groceries. This is what we're telling people. She does not need groceries. She said on Saturday that Abby bought $200 worth of groceries at Aldi's. Now, whether that actually happened or not, she
Right.
said that. She said that. So she would not need food today.
Right.
So we're calling out her lies and we're letting people who end up here know that she does not need food. No, she does not need money. Please do not offer to send her food. I encourage people to not send her anything of any monetary value, whether that be Cash App or any type of money transfer, gift cards, grocery orders, DoorDash orders, Easter baskets, anything, anything.
Well, and that's the other thing is people think they're funny sending her random gift cards on Cash App, $1 to Home Depot, $1 to Sephora, whatever. And I don't know if people realize this, but when you send a gift card on Cash App and the balance either is or goes below $10, it automatically converts to cash. And it says so right on the Cash App website. So if
Yep.
you send her $1 to Home Depot, you just sent her $1.
Yep. Absolutely. So not a good idea to send any of that either. Nope.
Just report, block, move on. Like
Right.
I don't think and there's a lot of lovely people on this app. There's a lot of people who are in recovery, who have, been sober for a very long time, have very interesting stories and are successful as all get out. And she doesn't care. She cannot hear you. And I'm not saying that she's a waste of time and you should give up on her or anything. I'm not saying that. She's just not in a place to listen to anybody right now, and just like trauma dumping on her and forcing her to listen to your story is doing the opposite of what you think that it's doing, And yeah, you should, try and reach out to her and let her know, like, hey, I've been through it. I'm here to talk if you want to. And there's so many people that care. And it's honestly, it's really nice. And I know that those people have helped other people, but I'm watching other people fall apart and hurt themselves trying to help her. And it's triggering other people watching those other people, if that makes sense. Like, it's like this weird domino effect of just, and everybody is worked up about the dog and the kids and we can't let anything happen to her. And it's like, we're all so helpless. And I'm like right there with you guys, even being her sister, that like, she doesn't care what I have to say. Like, she doesn't care what her own kids have to say. You guys have heard her own children beg her to stop, and she doesn't care. She's not listening right now. So it's like you going in, and when the reason I say that is because all of the wonderful, nice things you can say to her and all of the mean things you can say to her, they're not registering. The minute she hangs up the phone, you're just user 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and she doesn't care. She doesn't care.
Yeah,
So
I think
care of
some of the
yourself.
nights that she was even like texting me and calling me, I don't even think she realized who I was. Even though I had spoken with her before, I think that she just like copied and pasted, a message and sent it out to like every recent number in her thing. And so when she was going back and forth with me, she didn't even realize who I was.
Oh, I agree. I think that's true.
Yeah, I'm sure she didn't. I don't know. I wish I had more answers, and I wish that I could help her, but I have to just kind of love her from a distance until she's ready to be a
Right.
person again. And
Absolutely.
That's totally understandable. I mean, your position is a really tough position to be in because no matter what you do, you're catching hell for her bad decisions.
oh, 1,000%.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen you be completely raked over the coals on the internet. It is
Oh yeah.
insane.
My last live I was in with you guys, 3 seconds after being in on your live, there are people on Reddit, oh, and I didn't see it because I don't have a Reddit. I had to get off that. But I was told that, oh, she's just on there, getting attention and, making money off of her sister and she's disgusting and this, that, and the third. And it's like, I can't control if somebody has their gifts on. And when I go live, I turn them off and everybody knows that. And, I donated all my gifts. I don't know if you ladies saw that, but I mean, and I'll do that again with these ones. Like, and I posted proof about it, like I don't need the gifts, it's just, I appreciate them. Don't get me wrong, but like, I'm not doing it for gifts. And it's just weird that, like I said earlier, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, I can't make everybody happy. So at this point, I'm just doing what I have to do for me.
Ridiculous. It was only like $2.50 that you got.
It was $2.14, I believe.
Yeah. Come on. It's not like
Yeah,
you're rolling it go.
people don't realize that it's not really a lot. And, what we do get, we regift to other people. And we do donate even more than what we get in gifts to local organizations and things like that. So, and what you do get from the gifts actually isn't a lot. TikTok does keep probably at least half of whatever they're worth. So yeah, it's not any kind of big amount or anything like that. And I mean, I was told, now this might not be correct, but I was told that with my platform, that if I have gifts on, it's less likely to get I'm less likely to get a ban from TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe that's not correct, but I was told that I'm less likely to get like a ban if my live gets reported, because if TikTok even thinks that they're going to like possibly make some money and get